Drones are the way of the future, for better or for worse. They have come from a rocky past. The very word drone conjures mixed reactions in people. However, regardless of how you feel about them, these tiny flyers are going to fill the skies, transforming entire industries by changing the way goods and even people are transported. You might be using your drone, or thinking about getting a drone, for some epic vacation shots or to make an ultra-romantic wedding video. However, you should be thinking bigger. What if, instead of just taking pictures of you, your drone could help you monitor hundreds of acres of crops? What if it could photograph a building's flaws? And what if it could fix those flaws or water those crops as soon as it spotted them? Drones could also bring the internet to people who don't have it. Or deliver food and medicine to people who need it. These are just some of the applications we have started taking advantage of today. To have a better understanding of where the future of drones is going, it helps to have an understanding of their past. It will help first to classify what a drone is. A drone can be classified as an unmanned vehicle with locomotive abilities of one form or another. There are land, sea and aerial drones. For the purpose of this video we will only talk about aerial drones. Drones have been around for arguably more than a century. For example, in 1898 Nikola Tesla remotely controlled a small boat over radio frequencies. However, since the dawn of remotely controlled vehicles, drones have remained primarily a military project like the infamous Predator drone, conceived in the 1990s. This all started to change about a decade ago. In the late 2000s a few hobbyists started to figure out they could control their remote-controlled planes with their phones, and the home drone revolution was born. However, in its infancy, nobody would have thought of drones as regular person toys. The few viable products still cost thousands of dollars, basically required a PhD to fly, and were used for things like filming blockbuster movies. Then in 2010 Parrot showed up on the scene with the first quadcopter AR drone. This drone was easy to fly, affordable and was run off the user's iPhone or iPod Touch. It basically turned flying a drone into an augmented reality game. The Parrot drone changed the scene as far as changing people's views of what it meant to own and fly a personal drone, and really birthed the now saturated market we see today. In 2013 a company by the name DJI Innovations Science and Technology Co., Limited, better known as DJI, introduced the Phantom. A ready-to-fly out-of-the-box drone that could perform clever pre-programmed stunts and camera tricks at the touch of a button, and even if you screwed up it was programmed to automatically fly back to you. DJI made the first drone that wasn't a toy or a tool. It was both and then some. And it immediately made DJI the most important name in drones. Today, they easily own at least 70% of the market, running out competitors like Parrot. Since the first Phantom drone, the market has exploded and drones have become more sophisticated and varied. Drones have since gained the ability to automatically avoid obstacles, to stay steady in strong winds, and to fly further and higher for longer. Right now you can get a drone with a 4K camera, 30 minutes of battery life, and a range of more than 4 miles, that can hover autonomously and avoid obstacles without your help, for about $1,000. Or you can get smaller selfie drones for even cheaper. With so many drones hitting the market it's unclear of what the future will look like. Suddenly people who never thought of owning a drone are now seeing it as not only a possible reality, but a benefit. Companies so far have been the dictating factor in drone development and usage, however in the future they are going to have to play hardball with the FAA, the Federal Aviation and Administration. The FAA, the Federal Aviation and Administration, and a few other agencies will ultimately be what determines what drones and drone users will be able to do in the future. The FAA has already set regulations for how users can fly drones and what those drones can do. For instance, unmanned drones being used for commercial purposes currently cannot weigh more than 55 pounds, which rules out drone taxis and huge cargo ships. Anything you're flying has to stay in your line of sight, and operators can only control one drone at a time, so companies won't be able to command the fleets from an office. You can only fly during the day, and never in congested or sensitive areas. The FAA does grant waivers to these rules on a case-by-case basis, though, so your diapers by drone delivery service can skirt the rules in some cases. But let's imagine a scenario where there are no regulations, and drone producers can push the boundaries as far as they can conceive. Companies like Amazon have been testing Prime Air, their drone delivery service, by flying small packages into a few customers' yards in the UK, and they are hoping for a broader rollout soon. Meanwhile, Domino's is dropping pizzas all over New Zealand with drones, and another company, Zipline, is bringing medicine to rural areas of Rwanda. Researchers and engineers are already starting to think of drones as swarms, looking at how birds and insects fly in order to see how dozens or hundreds of drones might be able to work in concert. They could carry more cargo or split up inspection work, generally acting as a many-headed whole instead of a bunch of individual flying objects. The future of drones is as unpredictable as it is assured. In what capacity these machines will affect our lives in the future is uncertain, but what is clear is that the many applications that they do have will be subject to strict regulations. To find out more about drones, check out the link in the description.